Hello, everyone, and a very warm welcome to this learning journey from Eurus Hotel School. I'll be your guide as we dig into the essentials of modern hospitality operations. Our goal here isn't just to go over some procedures. It's really about equipping you with the insights and the skills you'll need to truly excel in this amazing, dynamic industry. So let's jump right in.
Okay, so here's our roadmap. We're going to break down 5 essential areas. Think of them as the pillars of world-class front office management. This isn't a lecture, not at all. It's a practical framework that you can take and apply directly in your own career. And we're going to start right at the core of it all, the heart of hospitality.
All right, Section 1, the heart of hospitality. Let's talk about what makes a hotel exceptional. So let's just start with a fundamental question. In today's market, which is, let's be honest, incredibly competitive, what really separates an average hotel from a truly outstanding one? Well, it's the mastery of the front office. It's that simple. This is the place where guest perceptions are created and where those lasting reputations are built, one single interaction at a time.
Think about it. The front office is so much more than just a place to check in. It's really the nerve center of the entire guest experience. It's the first and the very last point of contact. Because of that, your team's performance literally shapes the guest's whole story of their stay. And trust me on this, there are no small interactions. Every single one is a defining moment.
All right, let's move on to our second pillar, mastering guest requests. This is all about the proactive side of service. And really, this is where we can elevate the everyday. We're going to focus on how you can transform those routine, day-to-day interactions into truly memorable moments of service. And the secret? It's all about that perfect blend of efficiency and a really crucial personal touch.
So this really gets to the heart of it. You've got 2 things you have to balance perfectly. On one hand, you've got efficiency, fulfilling requests quickly, keeping wait times down. That's the baseline. It's what every guest just expects. But on the other side, you've got personalization. This is what makes a guest feel valued, not like they're just another number being processed. That's the real magic, the emotional connection. And true mastery, it's when you can deliver both of those, together, seamlessly.
So how do we actually achieve that balance? Well, it comes down to these 3 core skills. First, it all starts with active listening. And I don't just mean hearing the words. I mean interpreting their tone, the urgency, the emotion, really understanding the need behind the words. When you can do that, it empowers you to deliver what we call anticipatory service. Remembering preferences, exceeding their expectations, maybe even meeting needs before they're even spoken. And of course, none of this happens in a vacuum. It requires seamless communication, ensuring that every department is working together flawlessly for the guest.
Okay, on to our next pillar, the service recovery opportunity. Because let's be real for a second. Things are going to go wrong sometimes. It's just a fact of life in any service industry. The key is how we handle it. And that's what this is all about, reframing this reality. We have to learn to see complaints not as failures, but as these incredible opportunities to prove our commitment and, believe it or not, to build even stronger guest loyalty.
And that brings us to this powerful idea. It's called the service recovery paradox. It sounds a little strange, but here's what it means. A guest who has a problem that you solve effectively can actually become more loyal than a guest who never had a problem in the first place. Think about it. A guest arrives, they're tired, their room isn't ready. That's a bad start, right? But what if your team swoops in, solves it in minutes, gives them an upgrade, and has a drink waiting for them? Suddenly, that guest doesn't remember the problem. They remember the incredible solution, and they become your biggest fan. That's the paradox in action.
So, it all comes down to a fundamental shift in mindset. You see, complaints should never be viewed as disruptions. Instead, they're opportunities to improve and to actually strengthen those guest relationships. A complaint isn't an interruption of our work, it is our work. It's that critical moment of truth where we get to show exactly how committed we are to that guest's experience. So how do you do it? Well, here's a simple, actionable framework. It's just 4 steps. Step 1, acknowledge with empathy. You have to show you understand their frustration. Step 2, investigate and solve. Take ownership and find a solution. Step 3 is so important. Empower your team. Give them the authority to fix problems on the spot. And finally, step 4, the one so many people forget, follow up. A quick call or note to make sure everything is okay, it makes all the difference. This simple process can turn a huge negative into a huge positive.
Okay, moving on to our third pillar, achieving operational excellence. Think of this as the foundation, the engine that powers everything else we've talked about. Because this isn't about one person having one heroic moment of great service.
It's about building the systems and the culture that allow for exceptional quality to be delivered consistently, every single time for every single guest.
And that excellence is really built on these four core elements. First, you've got standardization. That's what ensures consistency and quality across the board. Then there's technology, which enhances efficiency and communication, freeing up your team to focus on the guests. Next up is training. This is where we build those critical skills and, just as importantly, the confidence to use them. And finally, leadership. This is what drives the culture and keeps everyone motivated. They all have to work together.
And let's zoom in on technology for a moment, because in a modern front office, it's not just a tool, it's a strategic asset. Your property management system, the PMS, that's the central nervous system of the whole operation. Then you have integrated communication platforms that keep everyone connected in real time. Things like digital check-in and mobile keys add convenience for the guest. And finally, guest feedback and analytics tools, they give us the data we need to constantly learn and get better.
So what does a high-performing team actually look like? Well, take a look at this breakdown. Technical proficiency, knowing how to use the systems, that's absolutely vital, right? But look, it's only about 30% of the picture. The vast majority, the real difference makers, are the human skills. 40% is just interpersonal skills. Then you have conflict resolution and cultural awareness. What this tells us is that a holistic training program, one that focuses on these soft skills, isn't just a nice-to-have. It's absolutely non-negotiable for success.
All right, we've reached our final section, integrated service, lasting impressions. This is where we bring all those pillars together. Because here's the thing, mastering requests, service recovery, operational excellence, they don't operate in silos. True front office mastery only happens when they are all integrated into one single cohesive strategy. And that strategy has one purpose and one purpose only, creating unforgettable guest experiences. And this right here is probably the most important takeaway of our entire discussion. You've got these incredible individual actions, right? The proactive service, the brilliant recovery moments, that's the human touch. But they can only happen consistently if they are supported by robust systems, by that operational excellence we talked about. When the human side and the system side work together in perfect harmony, that's when you create a truly seamless and memorable guest journey.
So, as we wrap up, I want to leave you with a question to think about, something to carry with you into your careers. Is your operation just meeting expectations, or is it creating memories? I want you to really consider that, because the answer to that one question is what will ultimately define your success in this industry. And really, that brings us to our final and maybe our most important point. All the things we've discussed, the efficiency, the technology, the systems, they are incredibly important. But they are the means, not the end. The ultimate measure of our success, the true goal of front office mastery, is the emotional impact we have on the guest, that positive feeling they take with them. That is the art of hospitality.